Hey, it's Mr. Barr. Today we're going to do function tables. I like function tables. It's the idea of doing a whole bunch of input, outputs, input, outputs, input, outputs all together. So function tables, are you ready for this? Here we go. Let's come over here to function tables. Function tables with a rabbit. I don't know if I told you this, but I have a whole bunch of rabbits in my backyard like almost every morning when I get up. The record is 7 rabbits in the backyard at once that I can see. The record for hummingbirds is 10. The record for lizards, I don't even know because I don't count them. And we've got an owl that hangs out in our backyard too. It's really cool. Okay, that has nothing to do with anything. Let's go do the lesson. All right, so function tables with a rabbit. Goal, I can explain the concept of a function and use function notation. Why? Functions are the driving force behind apps. I want to be able to use and create functions. A function is great when I want to put one value in and get one value out. But what if I want to see how something is changing over a period of time? Maybe I have a function that tells me the altitude of a rocket. I want to know the altitude at 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I could use a function table for that. We will just use the same function over and over again and put different values into it. All right, so let's start with our name and we'll get going here. All right, so start your notes with your name, and our title today is Function Tables. And we'll start with a basic function. So we're going to evaluate this function, f of x equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. And I'm going to ask you to find f of 4. So let's remember how to do that. So everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put in a 4. So I'll go everywhere there's an x, I'm going to plug in a 4. I'm trying to use different colors here. Ooh, look at all those colors. Colors. So put in a 4. So just evaluating a function. So 4 squared is 16. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2 equals, what's that, 16, 28, 30. And that's old material. We've already done that. Nothing new there. Now, the idea of a function table is just doing this over and over and over again. So there it is, there's the 30. That's what we just did in our notes. Now, as a function table, we can do it 3 more times. So we're going to do it again, but just with a table. So in our notes, so as a table, ready? We already know that if I plug in a 4, out comes a 30, right? But let's plug in, we already plugged in a 4, let's plug in a negative 4 and see what comes out. So right here, instead of a 4, I'm going to put in a negative 4. What's negative 4 squared? Negative 4 squared is 16. I'm just going to put this over on the side, 16. And instead of a 4, I'm going to put in a negative 4. So 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Plus 2. So if I plug in a negative 4, out comes a 6, right? 16 minus 12 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Out comes a 6. This is a function table. Let's plug in a 1 and see what comes out. If I plug in a 1, ready? Instead of a 4, I'm going to put a 1 here, so it's going to be 1 squared, which is 1. 3 times 1, which is 3, plus the 2. So if I plug in a 1, out comes a 6. Let's do it again. Let's plug in a 5. So if I plug in a 5, I'm doing it up here. 5 squared is 25. 3 times 5 is 15, plus that 2 takes me to a 42. That's a function table right there. I just do it over and over again, 42. So instead of evaluating the function once, I evaluated it 3 more times. Let's see how I did with my answer key. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, this is a different one. That's it. That's it for the notes. Let's do this one on whiteboards. If we were in class, I'd have you do this on whiteboards. So why don't you do this one, pause the video, and then check your answer, and I'll get my drawing tablet ready. Okay, so here I am, ready to draw. Am I ready to draw? I'm ready to draw. Okay, so 2 times 1 is 2, plus 4 means this would be a 6. 2 times 2, right? This 2 is going right here, so 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 4 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 4 is 12. There we go. We just did the first function table. Six, 8, 10, 12. 6, 8, 10, 12. I don't know why I have the same slide twice. All right, let's do this one. Pause it, do it, check yourself. And I'm here. Okay, so negative 1 squared is 1. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4, because a negative times a negative is a positive, plus the 1. So this equals a 6. 0 squared is 0. 0 times negative 4 is 0. Plus 1 is 1. So 6 and 1. 1 squared is 1. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Plus that 1. Let's see, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Plus 1. So this is 4 plus 1 is just 5, minus 8 is negative 3. There we go. See how we did. 6, 1, negative 2, negative 3. Looking fantastic. And this is probably our last one. Ooh, this one looks crazy. We can do it. All right, 0. Okay, so it starts with an 80. 64 times 0. All right, I had to go answer the door. Let's keep going there. So I plug in an 80. I plug in a 0. Out comes an 80 right there. 64 times 0 is 64. 0 squared. That's so wrong. That's not 64. This is not 64. This is 0. 0 squared is 0 times 16 is 0. So what does that give me? 80. So this is 80. 1 times 64 is 64. 1 squared is 1 times 16 is 16. And let's add all that together using a calculator. $80 plus 64 plus 16 gives me 160. So this is 160. 80. 64 times 2 is going to be 128. Okay, this is 2 squared, which is 4. 4 times 16 is 64. Adding them together, 80 plus 128 plus 64. Yes, I'm using a calculator. 272. 80 plus 3 times 64 is 192. Plus 3 squared is 9. 9 times 16 is 144. Adding them together is 416. Let's go check those answers. See how I did. 80, 160, 272, 416. Looking good. And I think that is the end of this lesson video. That is. Okay, hey. I will see you in class or in my Zoom, and we'll go over this stuff. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day.